Welcome to the San Clemente podcast, the only local podcast in the best beach town in the world. We're here to bring you weekly episodes highlighting everything from sports, culture, entertainment, politics, and everything else this beach town has to offer. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the San Clemente podcast. I'm Jeff Moore, joined as always by Brian De La Puente. Today we've got a very exciting guest, one with a story that I think is really going to stick with you. Scott Muir, Division I soccer player at the Air Force Academy, 12 years of service as a pilot, husband, dad, and a guy whose life kind of flashed before his eyes and had a tragic event that changed potentially your life forever. And just a story that I think is really going to resonate with the community, with us, and just appreciate you sitting down and talking with us.
Man, I'm psyched to be here, guys. This is like a rad opportunity.
Sure.
Really excited about it. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Scott, we've gotten to know each other the last few years at school pickup and surfed and all the things, right?
Yeah.
What have you been up to? How's summer going? Like what are the kids into?
Summer's been great, man. It's been like one of the first summers where we haven't had like too many camps for the kids. So it's just been rad getting into the beach days here and doing T Street and Doheny with the kids and just like having lazy days, watching soccer with the kids. Like it's what I remember summer as a kid, you know, and I've just been loving it.
Have you guys been doing World Cup?
Been doing a lot of World Cup. Man.
What's your,
can't get enough of it.
As a former player, what are your takes up until this point?
I think it's been super fun. I was like a little skeptical about them going to like the bigger 48 team World Cup. And then it's brought a bunch of these smaller teams in here, Cape Verde doing cool things. So it's been really fun to watch it expand a little bit and watch just more teams get out there and see what they can do.
Do you watch with a critical eye? I know my wife played college soccer at UCI.
Yeah.
When we're watching, like last night we watched at one of her girlfriend's house and they were all soccer players. They all played at Utah. They are like so critical. Yeah, defense, what are you doing? Get the line. Like, and it's like,
it depends what game I'm watching. Like if I'm invested in the US game, watching that last night, like I watched with a couple buddies, and we actually went down they had a big watch party. It was in Dana Point at Prado.
Okay.
And so we did that, which was super fun, but like very critical eye on the whole thing. But I was just before we came down here, Argentina, Egypt was on, and I don't care whatsoever who wins that game. So it's a little more fun to just like sit back and soak it in, right? So I'm sure it's like you with football, right? Both you guys, like you watch something you're invested in, you're like picking it apart, and you just get to watch a game.
For sure. It's hard for me to watch football without that.
Really?
Because you're like, you see it and you're like, oh, here comes this tackle's going to get offsides.
Yeah.
He's getting real close, or that's a holding call or whatever. But it's fun to watch, and you get a lot of questions from everybody like, hey, what are they doing? Who's going to win? Like, who do you have in this game? And it's like, I don't know. I kind of just want to chill and watch.
Just want to watch.
Yeah. Just be a spectator.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
Yeah. It's been a fun World Cup though. You guys been into it?
Oh yeah. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Competitive games. Brian and I were talking about it. A little let down about USA and how I saw the goalie come out of there. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you coming out of the box?
I think Belgium was always the better team. We had a chance, but it sucked to watch the way they went out. It just was such a lackluster performance, and like it's not representative of who they are. And it's such a bummer to have that performance on that game. Sure. So I know they're better than that. And they showed it in a bunch of the other games against, Australia, Panama, like teams that like gave other very good teams a run for their money.
So we came out the gate hot.
But they're a lot more competitive now though, right? This year than they have in the years past.
They have the best team they've ever had.
Yeah.
But it's still
still
got to put it together
for sure.
The other big ones, right?
Yep.
And we always seem to do well and then come up against a proper European team, and it's just get a little shell shocked.
Gosh, I love sports. Yeah, I love watching sports, but I think this one takes the cake, honestly. I think watching soccer in the World Cup is just...
I went to the World Cup in Germany back in 2006 after I graduated with another soccer buddy, and there is no sporting event like it. It is so much fun.
And how are the fans too? You see these soccer fans just...
Oh my gosh. And we would go out to bars or different like plazas and stuff and have drinks, and we were playing, whoever we're playing Ghana or whatever. And there's a Ghana fans there, and we're sharing beers with them, trading flags with them. They have my flag, I have theirs. And you're like, it's just good vibes. It's so much fun. It's like what sport's meant to be.
For sure.
Right?
I love it. Awesome. Well, before we get into the story and what happened, give us an update on how you're doing today, your recovery, and what that looks like right now.
Yeah. So like just a backstory that with like my spinal injury right now, I think. Yeah. And so, the recovery is going well, man. It's going like way better than I probably could have hoped for. So it's been really nice to watch that trajectory keep going. We're kind of talking a little bit
Sure.
before about this of at the beginning, the trajectory was very linear. I just kept kind of plugging away in this like kind of surprising path. And since I've been home, I think maybe the last couple months, especially, I've noticed like the little plateaus and peaks and valleys and stuff, but
Yeah.
it keeps in this upward trend. So it's really cool. It's like a really big privilege to be able to like keep getting better and keep doing the things I love doing, but I keep getting a little, I don't say better at them, but less bad at them, right?
Sure.
Like, so like, yeah, I'm not good at surfing anymore. I'm not good at prone paddling anymore, but I'm not as bad as I was a couple months ago. So it's
Baby
like,
steps.
yeah, it's just the right trajectory. So when I zoom back out, I have to do that all the time and, you know, zoom in and I get a little frustrated and boom, zoom back out and you're going, holy shit, this is cool.
So you're having to relearn a lot of the things.
Everything. I've had to
Everything.
relearn everything and everything, like from walking to putting clothes on, dude. All of it's a challenge. So it's all just a little bit different and you just have to adapt to, okay, here's how I go up and down the stairs now. I have to think about it. And when you get to the beach, it's like, okay, I paddle a little bit different. I don't catch a wave quite as well. I can't really get up to my feet all the time. Sometimes, not always. So sometimes I'm riding waves on my knees. Sometimes it's on my stomach and just trying to get reps. But it's, yeah, everything I'm doing is like relearning it. And so a lot of the rehab I've been doing, it hasn't been as physically taxing as it is mentally taxing. Like I am exhausted after an hour or two because I have to think about every step that I'm taking, where I'm placing my foot, how's it going? And like I always find myself in my first rep of something, we're doing lunges with a twist or something, right? Like isometric work to get work on my right side. My first round sucks and I have to give myself the space, zoom back out, okay, and then my brain learns it, my body learns how to do it, and then my second round gets better, third round gets better after that.
And
So
that mental fatigue is much different than the physical fatigue. So you're
yeah,
having both.
yes, yeah. I mean, it is physically exhausted. I'm sweating, I'm whipped, but like, yeah, you get home, you just kind of like, I just need to lay here for a few minutes, man, because I'm toast. Yeah, but it's going good, man. It's going really, really well. There's still a long way to go. And I don't know when it'll stop.
Yeah.
Who cares? But
Never.
wherever it stops, it stops. But yeah, it keeps moving in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of the way you attack day to day now kind of started with you in your early years and getting into soccer, playing at Air Force. Let's get into that. So we were talking about going to Tribuco
Yeah.
and then playing soccer through, just talk a little bit about getting to that 12-year career and
yeah. So I mean, grew up in Rancho Santa Margarita and then just like fell in love with soccer from a young age. So that was a big part of my like sport life. I played baseball a bit, but my heart was never really in it. And so I just had some really good coaches along the way that kind of pushed me and guided me through that. And so yeah, I played soccer at Tribuco, played club soccer out here for Mission and San Juan and some of the clubs out here, and then got recruited to go play. I always knew I wanted to fly airplanes, and I wanted to play D1 soccer. And I was like, well, there's really kind of only one place.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Air Force Academy?
That seems to fit it all.
It seemed to check all the boxes. So I also think I knew I needed the discipline in my life. Like I was having a lot of fun towards the end of high school, and I knew what college would look like for me if I went to some of the other schools I talked to. I was like thinking about myself at 19 cut loose in New York City, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I needed a structure. So the guardrails were really good in my life. So yeah.
Did you grow up in a military family at all?
No. My family's all Canadian, actually. Okay. Both my parents are Canadian. My dad's side, his dad and his two uncles all flew in the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Oh, cool.
So we had like a little bit of like kind of aviation military history in the family. They flew in World War II.
Okay.
But that's, not really.
Canadian born or US?
I'm US born. Yeah. My brother and I are the only two American born in the family. We were born in Texas and then moved here when we were 3, 4. Yeah, something like that. So yeah.
So was it a shock going to Air Force? Like what, like that, talk about that discipline and that regimen. Like, was that day one?
It was, I don't know. My approach to it was a little bit different. Like it was a bit of a shock for sure. But if you show up, I just showed up to basic training, like super fit and ready to like, I don't know, probably stupid and overconfident, but I was just like, I'm gonna have fun with this, and I'm gonna get myself in trouble just like screwing around
Sure.
and like laugh my way through the whole thing. And I was like, oh, I can meet all these guys on, you want to go run? I'll run. That's fine. You want to do push-ups? Like I'll do
Sure.
push-ups. I
Yeah.
mean, you'll break me at some point. That doesn't matter.
Right.
So I think I took it with an attitude of like, let's have fun with this whole thing rather than like trying to let it beat me down.
Sure.
So
That's a
yeah,
great
it was.
approach.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock though. I
For
mean,
sure.
and having the soccer team there made it all that much easier that like when you were going through hard stuff, sometimes like the soccer guys, the football guys, the sports guys kind of got carved out and pushed to the side. And you're like, oh, well, you're going to be with your team now. And so I got away from some of the minutia and some of like the military stuff and some of like the reciting stuff. I mean, you're
Sure.
as a freshman, you're up at 6 a.m. You're outside your door. You're waiting for the seniors to pass by. You're telling them what's for breakfast. Like you had to memorize the breakfast menu that day and the dinner menu. And
No
like,
way.
oh, dude, it's like
that's a different level.
That's not that's not a college experience that I think most kids are.
a normal college experience. I mean, me and the boys got out. We had a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
I had a great time. But like, yeah, that level of structure and like your door was open. You were ready. You were reciting breakfast things like. They'd have stupid quotations that you had to memorize, and someone would walk by and be like, all right, Schofield's quote. And you're like, oh, shoot. And you'd rattle off this quote, and if you didn't, it was push-ups, it was all this stuff. So it's all a haze. It's all a game. And once you figure out it's a game, then you're like, oh,
I can play this game.
I could play a game, right? Like, that's fine. And the people that didn't figure out it was a game, like, they're pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Is it
sure.
a typical 4-year experience going to the Air Force?
Yeah. Standard 4-year. After your freshman year, all that stuff is gone.
Mhm.
It's really after like spring of your freshman year, you go through this like big physical event called recognition, where there's all this. It's like 4 or 5 days of just getting like hammered, right? And it's this big intense thing. And after that, they're like, all right, good. You're part of the gang. You're in.
Do you pick a sector you want to go into? Like after your freshman year, you're like, I'm going to go into this type of aviation, or
what is
that?
After your freshman year? So the way it works is you go freshman, sophomore year. The day you show up your junior year, you're committed. So you could walk away at any point in that time. You're like, I'm out of here. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. But if you show up your junior year, day one, you owe them, I think it's 4 years or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, and then after that, like in your junior year, you select what you want to do. I think junior, senior year.
Is it like a major?
Well, you choose
have
a
a
major.
major.
Yeah, I choose a major. I was a psychology major. There's guys that were business.
Like what sector of the military?
And then you start choosing what you want to do, and you select that, and those get handed out based on class rank for the most part. So if you wanted a pilot slot, there were usually the Air Force Academy more pilot slots than there were per people. So it was pretty easy to get. Whereas like the ROTC guys do a pilot slot, and they're like, there's 6 of us in our ROTC unit, and there's 1 pilot slot, and so it's gonna be pretty challenging for them to get it. Whereas the Academy, it's pretty easy. So
is there a trend from guys from your team? Like, did you guys go into the same thing? Like,
no,
together?
not at all, actually. Yeah, there was probably 6 of us in my graduating class, and me and one other guy flew, and everyone else went other places. One went into finance, one went into actually no finance. Intelligence. Other one went out and did grad school for a while. I mean, they did all sorts of different things, acquisition. So it's this little mini world that you kind of get into. Like the Air Force has like all this different stuff in it. So it's a cool opportunity for people that are looking to like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. You get real world training in something and experience. It's pretty neat.
Is there like we all seen Top Gun, right? Is it like that? Like
when I went to pilot training, talking about pilot training was a fire hose of a different level. So after I graduated, I had a year kind of off waiting for my pilot training class to open up.
Okay.
It was just full. So they said, hey, just kind of hang out for a year, which was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And
you're in Colorado Springs still?
No, I got sent out to the Bay Area, out to Travis Air Force Base. So we lived in the Bay Area. And I literally just had nothing to do for a year, but just have fun. So it was great. I surfed a lot out there. It was great. But then I went to Texas, and that's where my pilot training was. Del Rio, Texas.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
I would assume it's hot.
Nobody knows where Del Rio is.
Just
everyone in Texas doesn't know where it is. It's like if you go San Antonio and you drive 4 hours due west till you hit Mexico, that's Del Rio, like where they filmed No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
It's just out there, like West Texas. So we show up out there and pilot training starts, and that was a fire hose like I had like never experienced of just academic testing that was just super rigorous. And then you're up, you're doing stuff all day, you're flying twice a day. It's just a lot.
Sure.
It was fun, but it was challenging. And I found myself in a position of like failing 2 academic tests right off the bat. And if you fail a third one, you're gone. And I'm like,
Shit.
dude,
This is
this is
gnarly.
like my goal is
Yeah.
flying, and I'm like hanging by a thread here. And I had a really good buddy, Teddy, who was top of our class, picked me up by the scruff of the neck. He's like, I'm gonna walk you through this whole thing. You will not fall behind, and he did, and I made it through. Yeah. But
Sometimes you need that, right?
yeah, you do. But the culture there was fun. It was, you're flying fun planes. Like the plane you start out on is the T6, which is a propeller, but it's super fun because like there's no spool up time and it runs at a constant speed. It's the propellers always spin at the same speed. So when you put power in, all it does is change the pitch, and wow, you just get going really fast. So the thing's fully aerobatic. You're doing like all the fun stuff in it. So there was some really cool flying out there.
And then what do you find your place in a, like, do you get a specific plane that now I'm on this?
Yeah.
So then you get like,
so you do your first 6 months in the T6, and then from there, everyone goes through that same plane, same course. And then from there, boom, 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 same thing, rack and stack everybody. Number one guy, what do you want to do? Do you want to fly fighters? Do you want to fly helicopters? Do you want to fly prop planes? Do you want to fly big jets, And they just go down and you choose your way through the list. So I chose to track on the heavy side, which was, kind of the cargo, air refueling, transport side of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so then once you get picked into that, then you go to a different plane. So I went and flew the T1 from that. The guys that go fighters fly the T38 at the time,
Okay.
which was, speaking of Top Gun, the MiGs and the original Top Gun.
Yeah.
Those are all T38s.
Gotcha.
That's what those guys
I
flew.
think
So
that's
fun planes.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I can imagine there's that many 18-year-olds graduating high school that know exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
So this is a great pathway for people.
I felt fortunate there because I always look at kids now and you're like my daughter and stuff, and you're like, how are you supposed to choose what you want to do here? You're like, you don't know anything.
No.
So yeah.
No, they think they do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they do.
But they don't.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you can go to the Air Force, you can get a great degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Flying planes, helicopters.
Yeah, it was cool.
Playing with a bunch of toys.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. It just felt like an extension of sports,
Sure.
right? That's what it felt like. It's just like you had this group, you had this team, you're working on things, you're flying, you're having fun. It was rad.
So looking back on that, was that a decision that you would stand behind and do again?
Yeah, I think I would. For me in my life, I know I needed that. Like I said, I needed the structure, the discipline. I love playing college soccer. That was so much fun. I love the group of guys I had. So yeah, I would stand by the decision again. I don't think it's for everybody though. Like it is very structured, and it's like if you're not playing the game, and you could get pretty beat down by it. So I don't know. There's a bunch of different avenues to fly in, so there's a bunch of ways to get there. But yeah, for me, it was the right call. I'd do it again.
Very cool. And then did you meet your wife post-college or?
I met her during college.
you
Yeah,
did?
she didn't go to the Air Force Academy, she's to Cal Poly, but I came back on spring break through a friend, and we wound up meeting in Newport. And then we went the night after we met, we split ways. And then I went down to Mexico. We were down in Baja, Papa's a beer, like we were talking about.
Of course, yeah.
I'm sitting there dancing, having a few beers with friends, turn around.
There she is.
There she is. Meant to be nowhere. And you're like, all right, see you guys later. I'm going to go with her. And that was it. That was the end of it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. We've been together for a long time. I think it's 18 years married this August. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I tell
she's
people all the
a hero.
time, hey, the most important decision you're going to make in life is who you marry.
Completely. Yep.
Partner in crime, dude.
Yeah, it's everything, right? I mean, and
it is.
Yeah, you see people with tough marriages and you just feel for them, and you see people with great marriages, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Talk to us about her support through everything you've been through.
Oh my God, dude. I don't even know where to start. She has been everything. I mean, there's no way I would have made it through this process, this whole thing without her. Gosh, yeah, it's a little emotional, but she's just like, she shows up in so many ways from the very beginning, for her being next to me in the hospital bed and being there and like starting to move all the pieces. And like, I remember one of the very first things when she got to the hospital, because I'm laying in a bed just looking at the ceiling the whole time, and she showed up after my buddy called her, and she just came over and like she gave me a kiss on the cheek, and it was just like this thing where like I was never freaking out, but like everything slowed down, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be all right. Like she's here, I'm gonna be all right. And she's just been by my side the whole time, everything I've needed.
I mean, just from a far away from the whole thing, seeing her at pickup, her big smile, like she kept it together. Like
Yeah.
Incredible. Like
Yeah.
seeing her, like there was a couple times I gave her a hug just because we had that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she knew that I was a safe place. She would little glimpse, like a tear.
Yeah.
Or like, are you okay? Like it was like,
Yeah.
not really, you know,
No.
those little moments, but she was a freaking rock star, dude.
And she's been so open and vulnerable. She, from the very beginning, she started kind of a journal, like a Google open source doc, just to let people know what was going on. It started as just like friends and family, like, here's the daily breakdown on Scott. Here's what happened. Here's what the doctors are saying, blah, 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 right? And then it kind of morphed into this thing where she was journaling about her life and her experiences on it. And like, a huge open book, like very vulnerable stuff that she was journaling about. And it wasn't locked, like anyone could read it. And so we had people that were like, dude, I was reading this morning, watching her type.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's in Colorado. I'm sitting in San Clemente, and I can see her typing on the Google Doc, like her feelings, her emotions, her highs, her lows. And it was a special thing that she did, because when she came back, people would open up to her in this way that were like, oh, you were vulnerable and that was okay for you to share your low or your high. And they would open up these things. And I thought it was just this really cool way of like kind of cracking people open and making, you know, letting people know it's okay to share things and it's okay to be vulnerable. So yeah, she's just, I don't know. We could spend the whole podcast talking about her.
That's awesome. Well, let's dive into it. I mean, let's talk about that day at DMJ's. It was pumping swell.
Yeah.
Just go into it.
Yeah. So it was during that Hurricane Norda swell, and it was super fun. It wasn't huge, but it was consistent and powerful and just a good day.
Yeah.
And I met up with my buddy Dan, who I'd known since 3rd grade, and him and I had just stayed buddies forever, surfed forever. We've gone different ways and whatnot. Dan was in the Navy doing some spec ops stuff there. Really awesome dude. And so yeah, we met up for a surf, which we do every month or so, and we were having a blast. We were just like, we found this little peak down by the jetty, and it was just kind of us, and we were scoring for a long time. And then I remember a couple Groms paddled out, and they were over by us, and it was fun. We were having a good time with them. It's pretty uncrowded down there, so we were getting waves, and it wasn't a problem. But we were kind of back and forth with them, and like, all right, well, we're gonna push these guys a little deeper to get this right, like. And it was just cat and mouse, but never like really acknowledging each other. But they surfed well, and they were having fun. They were nice kids. And I remember I was paddling back out from a wave, and I watched Dan go on a wave, and it just kind of closed out on him. So he's kind of floating in that impact zone. And the next one comes, and I see one of the Groms look, and he's like eyeing it, and he's like, I could see he wants to go. And you're watching the trajectory, and you're like, oh, dude, this guy's gonna mow over Dan if he goes, right? And like, oh God. And Dan's not a guy you want to mow over. Like he's a tough looking dude, right? And the kid looks, and he's like, he just puts his head down and goes, and he pulls in, gets barreled, and boom, it closes out on him, and they kind of go right by each other, right? And you're like, oh no. He comes up, and he's like, dude, I'm sorry. And Dan, I was waiting for it, because I was maybe 15 yards away. I'm like, oh, here we go. And Dan just goes, dude, that was epic. Like, that was awesome. You kids have been sending it all day. Like, don't ever apologize for chucking it over the ledge and going on one, right? And the kid was like, oh, okay. Sweet. So they start chatting on the way back out. I catch up to them. We catch up to their other friend, and the 4 of us strike up this conversation, and we're just having a blast out there. Probably 20 minutes or so of like talking to them about the spot, trading waves. Like I'd see a set come in, and like, oh, the second one's going to bounce. The second one's going to be the good one. So one of the other guys, I was like, dude, this one's you. Like it was my turn. I was in the spot. I'm like, no, this one's you. It's the good one, right?
Yeah.
And the kid told me later, he's like, you were the first person in my life that has ever given me a wave. That's ever been like, it's not my turn, but I get to go.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it was a magic 20 minutes of like what it's supposed to be in the water, of just people having fun with each other, talking, sharing, not competing, but everyone's getting theirs. It was magic. And
great vibe.
It was so cool, man. Yeah, it was really nice. And so then another set comes in, one of the Groms, his name's Judah. He goes on the first one. And then the second one comes in, and I'm like, oh, this one's a good one. I'm going on this one. So I take off on it, kind of turn on the outside, and it hits this inside sandbar. And I backside pull in, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. Like I can go, I can see the vision still right now of just like, I'm in the tube of the day, right? I'm just packing this thing. I could see my exit. I am coming out. Like I'm pre-stoked for this wave. And before I know it, I don't even know how, like maybe the foam ball picked up the back and I just get pitched head over. And before I can't get my hands out, anything, it just driven, boom, straight to the bottom and pile drive, head down. And you kind of feel a little crunch. And I'm going, all right, just a little body scan, assess what's going on, right? Like usually a little stinger or something like that. And I couldn't move anything. Legs, hands, arms, nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Immediately.
Immediately I go, I broke my neck. I'm paralyzed. And
You said that to yourself.
oh yeah, I knew immediately, like, you're paralyzed and you're trying to move. You're frozen in this body and you can't do a thing.
No, never lost consciousness.
Never lost consciousness. Completely aware of my situation the whole time.
Fully cognizant of everything going on around you.
Completely aware of it.
But cannot move your body.
Cannot move. Just face down too in the water. I'm not on my back. I'm face down. And I'm just sitting there going like, all right, you can't fix this. Like there's no, like you can try, but you can't fix this situation. It's just what it is. And like, I just remember telling myself to just relax and stay calm. I'm like, that's the only way you're going to make it through this. That's your only chance of making through this.
You're
right?
face down
in the water,
on the surface.
on the surface. Yeah. And just going like, all right, like your only chance of survival is just relaxing. And maybe you buy yourself an extra 5 seconds. Cause I'm like, if I panic, I'm going to burn all my air and I'm done. Right. So just relax and kind of submit to what this is. Like, don't submit to the outcome, but like, just let this happen and see where it goes. And, it was 3 waves. I got three waves held down underwater. And, like a lot of things go through your mind at that point, like knowing, talk about the difference between, we've all been out there and had those hold downs and those days and big waves where you're scrambling to the top. You're like, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And it's scary. And you're like, God, that was a close one. But that's always like, I'm not sure. This was the difference between not, I could die. It was the recognition that like, you're going to die, dude. Like that was it. And you're just sitting with it, waiting in the water.
Are you in survival mode? What's going, is your wife and kids, is that going through your mind?
Yeah. The one thing that went through my mind, was Kristen and thinking about her. And, I love my kids so much. I thought if you'd asked me before, it'd have been my kids are going to go through, and it was her. And that's all I could think about was her. It was the idea of her getting that phone call. That's really what stuck with me, is like, that cannot happen. I just had this picture of her, like zoomed, watching her get this call that I was gone. Jeez. And watching it break her. And I just couldn't, like, it just crushed me. And so I was just like, that can't happen. Just relax. That can't happen. Yeah. And, so that's what's going through my mind during that. Just stay calm. That can't happen. Maybe I'll get pushed in under the shore, get kind of propped up on my elbows. And I'm just like, you start getting that reflux and you're like, okay, I got more, I can wait. And then, the water starts coming in. And the last thing I remember is something kind of like this. Like it felt like something on my collarbone. Like, that's really weird. And then I don't really remember much after that. And come to find out afterwards, Judah, the guy that had gone on that wave before me, he saw my wave. He watched me getting barreled. He paddled over the wave and didn't see me fall, but looks back and is like, oh, I see a surfboard there, but whatever. He's probably just coming back for it. Paddles over the next kind of around it. And he's like, God, I still don't see him. That's really weird. And he said for just a split second, he saw my shoulders come up and back down. He's like, holy shit, something's wrong.
Go.
And he scrambled over there. And the last thing I remember was him reaching underwater for me. And he said, he's like, it was all sandy, murky water. He's like, I got there. I could see your board. I didn't know where you were. So I was just reaching around underwater. And that's when he felt my wetsuit and grabbed me, scooped me up under the arms on the back, lifted me out of the water.
Had you been pushed in enough where he could stand?
Yeah. Up about, I guess he's maybe 5'8" or something like that. He's not a super tall guy. I mean, he's a strong dude. But yeah, he was up to about his neck in water. So it's hurricane swell, consistent waves pushing in, so he's got his board around his leg, my board around my leg. Every wave that comes in has 2 missiles coming at him that he's trying to put out of the way. He's trying to keep his head above water through the whole thing, right, while moving backwards and screaming. And so he starts yelling. His friend Thomas that was out there, Thomas is like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Like, and he goes to Dan. Which the funny part of the whole story is he goes to Dan. He didn't know Dan's name at the time or didn't remember it. And he's like, oh, I got to get a hold of this guy. What do I do? He's like, hey, bald guy. It's like, oh my God. Like no one in the world calls Dan bald guy. You see Dan, you're like, I'm not messing with that dude.
I'm calling him bald guy.
Yeah. And Dan was pissed at first. He's like, your friend's in trouble. And then so those two book it in.
Yeah.
And Judah's pulling me the whole time, and he pulls me to the beach and gets me to the sand. And then they show up. Thomas had been a junior guard, and Dan had done junior. He'd done guards. He'd done, a bunch of Navy stuff. Like
Sure.
he'd done a bunch of stuff with rescue things. And so, so they figure out quick. They stabilize me. The lifeguards get there, and then the first thing I remember after that is on the beach looking up, and I'm looking up, and there's all these heads around me, and I'm like I get that breath, right? And I'm like, because they didn't have to do CPR, I guess. I guess I was not really with it on the way in, but like I was kind of breathing, I guess.
Okay.
And I get that breath like when I come to on the beach, and I see all these heads over me, and I'm like, oh my God, like holy shit, dude, I'm alive. Like I didn't think like that, the juxtaposition between that, like those two moments and that breath and that sunlight and realizing like you made it through this. It's like the sweetest moment of my life, man. It was really special.
I need to keep it together.
Yeah. So I see all those heads over me, and I was like, the first words out of my mouth are, who pulled me out of the water? And they're all kind of looking back and forth, and then this head peers over from the back. Judah. And it was Judah. And I was like, I remembered him. I remembered the Grom from like that incident. And I was like, saved my life, dude.
Yeah.
And from there, it was a whirlwind. It was, onto the stretcher board, onto the back of the truck, into a paramedic, onto a helicopter, over to Scripps Hospital. And so Dan called my wife during that. He called Kristen
and says what?
Yeah, I know. That's a lot I put on him, because that's the other thing I said is, Dan, you need to call Kristen. And he's like, shit, all right.
And you're completely with it. You just know
I'm
you're
completely
paralyzed.
with it. I know I'm paralyzed, but I'm totally with it. Like I remember all this perfectly. And so Dan calls her, and he's just very matter of fact. He's been through stuff before, and he knows. Yeah. And he says, Kristen, Scott's okay. Scott's alive. There's been an accident. Like you need to get down to Scripps. Yeah. And we'd been out at Ohana Fest the night before, Chris and I. Yeah. And so she was, she'd taken the morning off. I told her the kids were with my mom.
Saw you, dude.
Saw you there.
Yeah.
Yep. We hung out at Ohana that night.
The night before. Right.
Yeah. We were watching
Hosier was there. Yeah. It was epic. Yeah. She was actually journaling at that time, because Hosier got up, and remember he got up on stage, and he had this whole like kind of come together community thing that was like really powerful, and like kind of cross beliefs and all these kind of things and ideologies. It was like really cool. I thought it was, I'm not always into like preachy concerts, but it was a really cool thing.
Yes.
And she was at home just journaling around, and she was writing some of his lyrics that were like, love every stranger, the stranger the better. And like as she was writing that, a stranger pulls me out of the water. It
saved
was
your life.
Yeah. And so she had this real calm thing, and she drove down to the hospital and ran into her there. And it was, and from there, everything kind of get going. But yeah, she had this eerie level of calm about her. Probably a lot of thanks to Dan and his approach and stuff. So,
So you get down to Scripps Hospital.
Yeah.
And then what next?
Scripps was a whirlwind. You're in the stretcher.
Are you in severe pain?
No pain, man. No pain. Nope. I just like from my neck down, shoulders, I was just like
nothing,
stuck. And so they got me in a CT scan, x-rays, all that stuff. And then they put me in an MRI, and the MRI was where like I'm in there, and it's not quiet, but you're by yourself. There's finally not people around me. And that's when it was like, okay, like I get to take it all in. Right. And that was like a really emotional thing of like, I don't know. I went back and forth, but I was like just so grateful to be alive and for life. And like that feeling of like, okay, like I understand I'm paralyzed and I may never walk again. Like I didn't know the severity of it. At that point, I thought like, all right, that's it. Like you're like a proper quadriplegic for the rest of your life, and you'll never walk. And it was like inconsequential. Like it didn't matter. I was
Just
like,
the
that's
fact
fine.
I
don't care.
I'm alive.
Don't care. Like I'll take that bargain from what I went through underwater to that. I was like, I would take that deal 10 out of 10 times. And I go back to that moment a lot. And I like when I have rough patches now, which are plenty, right? I go back to the MRI a lot of times and I'm like, dude, remember, like you're
You would,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, I like this is a good deal. Even if it seems like a bum deal, like this is a good deal compared to what you thought was going to happen. So that MRI was a really emotional point for me. And I remember crying in there, but not out of like a my life's ruined. Like I never even thought about that. It was like I still have a life, right? It was like the opposite of ruined. It's like I still get to do this thing. And I just remember being like so hungry for it. It was really,
what a great mindset though, because I'd imagine a lot of people would be upset and
yeah.
mad and pissed and
Yeah.
why me? But you've taken the opposite
Yeah. I
viewpoint and
just
perspective.
yeah, I don't know why necessarily, but I mean nothing happened. Like the thing just happened. Like I don't know, the way I frame it all the time is that like people are like, oh, this happened to you. I was like, no, nothing happened to me. Something happened. It didn't happen to me. It just happened, right? And I think your approach after what happens makes what it is to you, right? And so
Right.
I think I've just kind of always felt that way. And so yeah,
That's so
but
freaking inspirational. It's crazy to have that mindset when you feel sorry for yourself. It's like ha- getting your MRI, right? Like have that be your headspace of like, no, I'm
Perspective.
lucky I get to do this.
yeah,
Like you didn't care about not being able to walk or whatever. Like I
yeah,
get to see my wife
yeah,
and then her calm and then your mindset. I guarantee you that your mindset has such a big role in your recovery because I feel like the world is just a thing of energies. And
yeah.
if you've got positive energies pumping into you, all this community that's just loving on you, all this good energy
Oh
happening,
God, the community. Yeah.
like, wow, like holy moly.
Life is such a trip if you think about it just being a game of inches.
It's a
You're in a
game of inches.
perfect barrel, right?
Yeah.
And how close to maybe coming out of it
Yeah.
and not, right? Like
So
it's
I went to a hospital in Colorado called Craig, a super specialized spinal and brain injury hospital. Amazing.
how long after Scripps? So you're at Scripps for,
Scripts are about 8, 9 days.
okay,
And then I go to Craig. I
Did
get
you have
launched there.
surgery there?
I had surgery. Yeah.
at
So
Scripps.
yeah, we had surgery at Scripps. So it's spinal fusion, the C6 and 7 vertebrae.
Okay.
But speaking of a game in inches, the people I'd met there, we were all inches away, right? From people, getting hit by cars, people falling off zip lines, people like all these things, trees landing on them, right? We're all inches away from that not happening at all, right? But the flip side of the coin is we're all inches away from dying, right?
Yeah.
And you go, okay, like it is a game of inches, it's a game of seconds and milliseconds and stuff. But when the outcome is you're here, what physical state you find yourself in is kind of like
Irrelevant.
irrelevant.
You're
Yeah.
still playing the game.
Still playing the game. Exactly. So it's that I don't know, that mindset. I find the people that had that mindset, they did well there, and the
Was
people
that, did you have anybody at Craig that like motivated and pushed you?
I had some physical therapists that did very hard. I mean, the people that I was with there inspired me big time. I was there with Dakota Briley. He was a guy from Hawaii, surfer from Hawaii, big North Shore family. Like Dakota's a real good surfer, and he got hit by a car out there, and I mean his situation was terrible. He was just destroyed, spinal injury, brain injury, you name it, full coated out on the bed kind of things. And he got there, and this kid was in the worst situation, and he had every right to be pissed. Someone hit him, right? And God, he was just a warrior. Like I'd go to his room every day to talk to him, and he just like we would talk surf, we would just talk like all the things that we're gonna do together, and he just like every day I'd look at his situation, I go, God, how are you so freaking positive, right?
Right.
And he was just on it every day, and so being around people like him, my buddy Jake that was there, some of the firefighters that I met there, just all the people there that like we had this good little core group of people that was kind of the iron sharpens iron thing, right? And we kind of pushed each other back and forth, and we see someone that needed to pick me up or someone that needed like, oh, I got to give you some shit today, right? And like see if I could push you a little harder. So it was a really good group of people that I went through there with.
What are the doctors telling you while you're there?
So the doctors, when I was at zooming back out to La Jolla at Scripps. So after my surgery there, the doctor that did it, Dr. Bagari, it was awesome. he looked at it and he's like, you know, I did surgery went great. Like everything went well. Your spinal cord luckily was not severed. So there's complete and incomplete injuries. Complete injury is this wire is cut in half. Complete spinal cord injury, there's no coming back from it. Incomplete is this wire is dented, right? So it's we're getting stuff through there, but it's not perfect, right? And he's like, so that's where you are. You're in an incomplete injury. What level of healing you'll get from there, we don't know. It's, you know, it's up to your body, a lot of it, but everything's in place for you to heal as best you can. So the nice thing was no one ever told me like you will never walk again. You know, no one ever said that. No one ever said you will walk either. I was really fortunate for the medical staff to just kind of have this choose your own adventure thing of like,
And
let's see where it goes.
And you weren't asking those questions. You were just taking it.
I didn't want to ask the questions.
Day by day.
I knew my mantra through the whole thing was just effort and attitude. And like, this is what I tell my kids all the time. Like, those are your two controllable things in your life, effort and attitude. And I just said, all right, man, I'm going to make the best out of this situation that I can. And I'm going to work my ass off every single day. And if I do those two things, my outcome, I know I'm going to get the best outcome that my body will physically let me get. And I don't know what that'll be, right? Wherever that goes, that's fine. I guess you still don't know. I still don't know where I'm going to go from here, right? But I know, work hard, have a good attitude. It's the best outcome I'm going to get. So,
that hits everything, right? Attitude and effort.
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids that all the time. And it's kind of, I think like without saying it out loud, it's been one of those things that have gotten me through so many things in life, through sports, through pilot training, through soccer at the Air Force Academy, through all these things that like, yeah, I wasn't always the best, but I worked hard, had a good attitude, right? Like it gets you pretty damn far in life, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
Please, thank you. Good attitude. Be nice to people.
It's amazing.
Life's really not that complicated outside of that.
It's not.
It's really not.
Yeah.
So 9 days at Scripps, fly to Craig Hospital. How long in Craig Hospital total? And just kind of walk us through a little bit.
3 months.
Okay.
About 3 months. So I show up at Craig in a gurney. Like I couldn't really do much. They'd gotten me up a little bit at Scripps. They kind of got me sitting on the side of the bed. They got me in like a standing frame kind of thing, which I couldn't do on my own. They propped me up into it, but it was pretty cool. But we show up at Craig, the first day there, you're kind of getting your bearings. And then I met my whole team, doctor, physical therapist, occupational therapist, actual therapist, like all these different things. It's a really comprehensive one-stop shop hospital. And I remember getting paired with my physical therapist, Sarah, she was a college volleyball player, a rock climber, like she was me. She was just like a no bullshit go getter. Like, we're here to work, right? And I'm here to kick your butt. And I remember the first day being there. She got me out of the wheelchair onto a walker, like an old lady walker. She's like, can we get you up there? I'm like, I'll try whatever you want to try, right? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll fall on my face 100 times. I don't care. And so she stood me up on this thing there was a harness that was over me that's like tied to the ceiling that's taking weight off of me. So I've got like 60% of my body weight off.
Yeah.
And we start working on taking steps, and we start working on like, I'm like, okay, wait, like I thought I was a wheelchair guy. And all of a sudden this girl sees the potential and she's like, I can push this dude. And she gets me taking steps, and she's like, dude, you're doing pretty good. You want to take some of the weight off the harness? I'm like, okay. So takes a little more off. She's like, you want to take the harness off altogether? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So we take the harness off. I'm in the walker. She's behind me helping my feet. And within the first day, she got me taking my first steps.
Oh.
And that moment like shaped the trajectory of like, okay, like I never let myself get there, but I was like, that I might walk, dude. Like I might walk.
Now, are you a faithful person, or?
I'm very much like a love-based person. Like that's my faith, I guess, is love, is just like feeling that. Yeah. So
that energy. Yeah.
That energy for sure. And spreading that around and receiving it and handing it back out. And that was, yeah. So I don't want to jump around too much. I do want to get back to that idea though, and the community aspect of it. So like we'll talk. Yeah, I want to talk about that for sure. But yeah, the Craig experience was just great. And so I mean, I was still again wheelchair bound. I could pick up my left arm. I could do that. My left hand was stuck in a fist like this basically. And I remember the day where my left thumb moved like that, like just like a millimeter.
Yeah.
And I freaked out. It was the
Stoked.
coolest thing ever because I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, my left hand might work, right? And then like I could wiggle my toes a little bit and just things that started to like kind of start clicking back online was huge.
There's no way to track when it's gonna turn
No
on.
clue.
Or if it's going to turn on.
Or if it'll turn on, right? You just don't know. And so my injury still is very asymmetric. It's right side. The right side of my spinal cord was injured. So I still like this hand, like you could see it shakes like this every now and then. And like if I try and open it quick, it's still really slow, really affected. So, and my right side still like, I mean, I'm touching my thigh, like I can't feel it unless I see it, right? So,
yeah.
Um,
and can that change too, or is it just?
It can, yeah, yeah. This has stayed pretty consistent, so it's a weird thing. Like there was times where I was able to move body parts through just kind of willpower and getting like things to move, but I couldn't feel them move. So it's like a very out of body experience to watch one of your limbs do something, but not feel it. And it's like, it feels like a magic trick, right? We're like, is she moving? Like, am I a Jedi or something? Like, what is happening here?
Didn't they talk about those feelings with like amputees? Like, like the energy of your arm is there, but it's, there's nothing.
I surfed with a guy a little while ago through an organization called High Fives and One More Wave, two radical organizations that do stuff for people with injuries and whatnot. And he was an amputee below the knee. And I talked to him about it and he's like, yeah, dude, it's a real thing of like, you feel that even though it's not there. It's a challenge.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fun to, I mean, to make light of a very serious situation to pretend you're a Jedi.
Yeah.
Watch this.
You just gotta laugh.
I don't feel any of this.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. I know. I was always making jokes about like I kept going back to Talladega Nights and Ricky Bobby with the "Don't you stick that knife in your leg, Ricky Bobby," and I was like, watch, like I could do that. I could just stick the knife in my leg. You know,
I won't even feel it.
I won't even feel it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So 3 months there.
3 months there. Yeah. And then
are you thinking like, is your only job at this point, you've got a great support staff, is just to heal?
That's it. That's it. It was, you know, I wanted to be there for my family and I tried to do the things I could, but my wife and I talked and we're like, dude, your job is to get as good as you can, right? You get one shot at this, so make it count. So yeah, it was nonstop. I mean, Craig's 8-hour days. Like he woke up, there was someone would come in my room, they'd help me get dressed. I didn't put my clothes on at all. So they help you get dressed for the day, help you get into your wheelchair. So I started in like I said, I came in a gurney. I started in a powered chair because I could kind of move my left arm so I could steer with my left hand. And then as that got better, I got moved into a manual wheelchair and then into a walker and into hand crutches. So they move you along the whole step of the way.
Are they pushing you out of your comfort zone every day?
Some of them are and some of them aren't, but they've done it so well. They're really blessed with, they don't have to follow a script, right? Every patient that comes in, they get to say, kind of dial you in and say, I think we can go this way. And then they push you in that direction. And the more you go, the more they get to go the way they want. So it's not like, oh, today is A, B, and C, and tomorrow is D, E, and F. And it's fluid. We're going to jump to X and let's go.
Oh, shit, you just did this. Let's do these things.
Exactly. So they're very much like you're kind of a driver of a lot of what you're capable of. So
was the fam able to come out and like, what was the logistics on that?
They came out a lot. So Kristen would come out probably every other week and the kids would come out every 2 weeks for a week. So, we didn't want to disrupt them too much. So they got to stay at home and they were in school and we kind of wanted that. Kind of wanted their life to keep going as much as normal as could be.
And how old are they?
My daughter is 11 and my son's just about to turn 6.
Okay.
So yeah, they were in kindergarten in 5th grade at the time.
Yeah. So did your kindergarten, boy or girl?
Boy.
So did he understand what was happening?
He didn't get it at first. It took him a while. My daughter got it right away. My son, it took a while. He would come to the hospital at Scripps or Craig, and he didn't want to touch me. He thought he was going to hurt me. I mean, he sees me hooked up to all these machines and beeping and, oh my God, what's happening, right? So it took him a little while, but I remember specifically one day at Craig, maybe a month and a half in, he didn't want to do anything because he and I are very physical in our relationship Dad, you want to wrestle? Dad, you want to fight? Dad, you want to play baseball? Dad, you play basketball? Like that's all we do is is screw around like that. And he couldn't do that. And he was scared to. And I remember one day I was on a big mat on the ground, getting stretched out, moving around, and they had to go. And like unprovoked, he just walks up, just throws his arm around me and gives me the biggest hug, like just wouldn't let go. And it was like, we had this understanding, like,
Yeah.
oh, it clicked, like, we're good again, man. Like, you and I are good again. And it was a really cool moment to get that relationship back, kind of, because I was like, oh, what is this gonna look like? And he accepted it, and he's like, I'm here with you, Dad, you know. And my daughter was kind of the opposite. Like, she was there day one. Like, she was in the hospital. Dad, what do you need? Taking care of me. If people got like near things, she said, no, you got to stay away from that. She's like, you know, Dad, can I get you water? Dad, can you get you this? She brought her guitar to the hospital, and like core memories. She's sitting in the hospital. She's learning to play the guitar. She's playing songs for me, just sitting on the floor singing. Like, I can't listen to Yellow from Coldplay anymore without crying. Like, it comes on and I just start weeping, man. I'm like, oh,
God dang it.
So it was that kind of family stuff.
Ask another question, dude.
I know, but
Jacking me up.
That family stuff is like,
yeah, that's because everybody with kids can react to it.
For sure.
Really.
Especially for me, I got the 2 boys, and it's like,
oh yeah.
That's it.
That's
I mean, that is our relationship. It is physical, and Mom doesn't do that. Like, let's, you know, you throw them into the, like, that's just what you do.
That's what you do.
And for him to be like, we're good.
We're good. Yeah. Yeah. And it was cool. So
What was the hardest day at Craig Hospital?
Oh man, that's a good question. My hardest day. Gosh, I don't know. I didn't have a lot of bad days there. I'm scouring through my brain. I'm like, give me a shitty memory of Craig. And
but nothing.
I don't
really for the most part, but that goes.
They were challenging days for sure. There was mornings sitting there trying to put your socks on that were challenging. I mean, yeah, without getting into it too much, like a lot of the things you don't realize with a spinal injury that I didn't realize is you break your neck and all the things below it are affected, right? Well, bowel and bladder are at the very bottom of that chain. So everyone that goes in with a spinal injury you're on a catheter, you're on some sort of bowel program. And that was a big shock to me. And I remember a night specifically in La Jolla at Scripps where, you know, you're getting cleaned up in bed because there's no taking you to the bathroom. It's just there we go. Yeah. You're in bed covered in your own crap, right? Yeah. And some young nurse is cleaning you up. And I just remember this moment of like, okay, that was a shock of like, wait, is this it? Is that going to be my wife cleaning me up for the rest of my life? And that was a really hard night of like, whoa, okay, I think I was ready for all of this, but I didn't see that coming. And so luckily a lot of that stuff, it came back online. It works and it's fine. And I'm on like independent there, but for a while that was a scary prospect.
You just spoke on that very well.
Very well. Very well.
That was like the most way of talking about that possible.
Yeah. But
I'm sure your wife's very happy about that too.
Happy. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. She's happy. No one wants that. It's a tough thing, but the guys that are there still doing it. I mean, it's a part of their life and they figure it out. So I have so much respect for the people that live that and figure out how to do all that on their own. It's amazing.
Have you been back to Craig Hospital?
I haven't got to go back yet. I stay in contact with a lot of my physical therapists, occupational therapists, a lot of the other people that were there that are still there, that are going through stuff that are just
still there. And this is what, 12 months later?
Yeah. So you do inpatient. You're like in a hospital bed, essentially. You have a room and a bed. And then after a while, they graduate you to outpatient. And then they have like a family housing thing that you can live in for a couple months. And then you travel back and forth. And when I say travel, it's like, it's like across the sidewalk, right? It's like, it's that close. So it's like, okay, like instead of already being in the hospital, I'm like one sidewalk over. And so it's really, it's a part of the hospital basically. So, it's a really cool thing that they got going on there. So the outpatient stuff is nice because they're basically prepping you to be independent, right? It's like, okay, you're kind of independent on your own. Let's see how you do in this little apartment, right? And they're getting you ready the whole time. They're getting you ready for the next step. So I feel like I was fortunate that all the people that I worked with were a step ahead of me. I was never pushing it. It was like, hey, today we're going to do this. And you're like, whoa, all right, let's see if we can do that. Let's go. And they were pushing me as hard as I was pushing myself, which was really cool.
I know we kind of glazed over a little bit, but talk about while you're at Craig, all of the community support.
Yeah.
Like I mean, from a certain standpoint, I'm sure you were bombarded with like, hey bro, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
Like how did you manage all that? And then like, what was that process like? And
yeah, it was a lot at first with like the text and all that stuff, because my hands didn't work. So you're learning how to do all that stuff. And I very much like wanted to get back to everybody and say thank you. So I answered as many as I could. I think I got back to almost everybody. But yeah, you are bombarded with stuff, but it felt, I don't know, it's so amazing. Like it's been one of my favorite things of this whole experience. And like I say, like my belief is in love, and like it just felt so overwhelming to have, like in the best possible way, overwhelming to have that many people there just absolutely showing up for us. And like, this is a San Clemente podcast, and that community, this community that we're a part of, showed up in such a big way. It was so humbling, and just like, I don't know. I always say, like, I don't wish anyone goes through this, but I wish everyone could feel that acute level of love once in their life. Like, it's nothing like I've ever experienced before.
Well, it speaks to you too, as a person,
the family, at least for Kristen and all that. Yeah, I think.
I mean, to you and the whole crew, it's like you people show up because you showed up in maybe something that didn't resonate with them, but you showed up.
Yeah.
Or you were just a good influence, or whatever it is. You brought the good vibes and you're fun to hang out with, whatever it was. You affected those people. So like we were fringe, right? We see a pickup and talk about surfing, surf a handful of times together. But like when I heard that news, I'm like, holy shit. Like, are you okay? What can I do to help?
Yeah.
And if the more you just have impact on everybody. So I think that love was deserved, and it's a product of you and your family.
Thanks. Yeah. So, well, and I want to thank you guys too. And like it's so generous, like helping us out, like a lot of people pitched in for a GoFundMe, which was huge. That's been a huge factor in like getting people to and from Colorado and all that stuff, and refitting things in the house and all that has been a huge blessing. So thank you very much.
Talk about that coming home. Like okay, Dad's done with Craig, he's coming home. What did you have to, I mean, you talk about the treehouse all the time.
Yeah.
What needed to be done?
Our house was daunting. Well, luckily not a ton. We had to put in a bunch of hand railings and stuff like that and get it set up, but luckily I was able to walk through most of it, which was nice. So yeah, we did some work there. I'll get to it in a minute. Probably the biggest bit of work that we did was kind of building like a little, like kind of ADU, a little extra space where Judah now lives and his sister. So we can get to that in a bit. But yeah, so we outfitted the house a bunch, but coming back, I don't know, it all ties in with that whole community thing and the people that showed up, and the people that showed up for my wife and my family. And, a lot of people were asking what they could do, and a lot of people just did things, and they just were there. And you're like, the lawn's taken care of. The dog is getting walked. There's a meal that shows up. The kids are taken care of. Here's a ride here. And people just came out of the woodwork to help and to be a part of the whole thing. And it was just such a testament to how beautiful this community is and the people here. And we were talking about how everyone here in San Clemente, Dana Point is 1 degree of separation from them. And that 1 degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, people that we didn't know were showing up to help and provide things.
That's so wild.
It's just really, really cool. So I just feel like super privileged and honored to be a part of that community and to be a recipient of that. It's cool. Really neat.
So as we shoot this podcast today, it's July 7th, 2026.
Yeah.
How long ago was this accident?
It was September 28th. Yeah, September 28th.
2025.
2025. Yeah.
So less than a year ago.
Less than a year. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So let's talk about now. Like you're surfing with the kids. Like what you're doing 5 days a week rehab, putting in the work.
Yep.
But you're seeing you're in the water. You're paddling.
Yeah. Yeah. We get out those Doho days with the kids and the family and stuff. And, I mean, I remember the first surf getting out there, like, God, it was so hard to get a wetsuit on to like,
Oh,
I
can't
couldn't even
imagine.
walk down to the beach at that time. So I had to have two people. Judo came with me, and then like my best friend Pat came down there, and they, two of us, you know, they walked me down to the beach and we surfed, like, I'm not joking, like maybe 6-inch doho, right? It was like the smallest day, but it was the four of us out, or the three of us out there, and then my wife, Kristen, and the two kids came out, and it was just epic getting back in the water. And so that's progressed to every day it gets a little bit easier. And so now, yeah, we're out at Doheny with the kids catching waves, and I'm able to paddle and turn around and catch waves and pop up on my knees and stuff, and you know, share waves with my daughter, which is just like, and my wife. It's just, it's really fun, man. So, and then back prone paddling a bunch as much as I can. And yeah, it's just, it,
I was telling Jeff earlier about what was it, a couple weeks before the accident.
yeah.
You did the Catalina paddle.
Yeah, I did the bended go
I
paddle.
was just
Yeah.
like, freaking wild. Is there anything like those in the near future that you like are gonna?
So I did, yeah, so the Bendigo was super fun. That's a great Catalina crossing, good group of people. That organization has been absolutely wonderful to us. They've been very generous. They've been very supportive. They've just been an awesome, awesome group of people. I love them all. So I'm still trying to, we still stay involved with that. But as far as myself upcoming events, like I did the Loop, which is an 11-mile paddle around Coronado. So I'd done that last year. I did it again this year with my buddy Sam Lovell. So Sam went out there and paddled with me, and we started early and ended late, but we got the 11 miles done. It was a slog. So it was like, it was one of those things like, I'm going to suffer through this. And there was a lot of suffering through it, but I'm going to work my way through it and do it, and prove to myself we can do it. And
The
it was,
mindset is so rad.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, mindset is everything.
it, yeah.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's, and you have to be willing. I mean, you guys know playing sports, you got to be willing to suffer for a lot of things, right?
sure.
And you're going, all right, this is gonna suck, but like it's worth it, and I want to do it, and at the end, I'm gonna feel good about it. So, in the future, I don't know what's up. I want to do another crossing. Like I desperately want to do another crossing.
Yeah.
I think my best shot is probably Rock to Rock, which is to Palos Verdes, which is 22 miles. I'm not there yet. My upper body is still like really weak when I do my prone work. It's like it's slow. I just can't generate a lot of power out of my right arm still. Like it moves, but it doesn't move well. And by the end of that loop paddle, this hand was a fist. Like I was just like pawing at the water. And so, you know, it's slow. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do Rock to Rock proper, or if I'll just try and do a crossing with some friends one day where we just take the day and do it.
Yeah.
And whatever. But I really have my goals set on doing something like that again.
What does a
Yeah.
day? What does a day look like now in terms of
Yeah.
physical activity? Are you waking up, working out, stretching?
I do physical therapy 5 days a week now. So pretty much every day I wake up and I either go to Mission Hospital where they have a neuro unit. I do that Mondays and Fridays, Mission Hospital, neuro, PT, and OT. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go to DSC here in San Clemente with Kevin, who's awesome. He's great. And he's really gotten me dialed in on a lot of other, he's got a focus in orthopedics. He's got a focus in surfing. He's worked with all those guys. And so that's been really fun doing stuff with him and kind of progressing there. I'm like, oh, I think I can surf again, you know? And then on Wednesdays, I go down to a place called Adapt, which is down in Carlsbad. So it's a full boat, like it's a full job of doing this. So a lot of times you get back and like I said, you're tired and whatever, but you kind of like, I have to force myself into rallying. And you're like, okay, yeah. You
And
guys want to go play baseball? You want to go surf? Let's go.
yep. And what about Judah?
Judah. Yeah. Gosh. So he has become like such a huge part of our life. Like when we moved back, when we came back from Colorado, we would have him and Thomas over for dinner, which is like, come for dinner. Like, let us, you guys are teenagers. Like you need a place to eat dinner. Like we'll provide you free food. So they would come over for dinner. We'd hang out with them a bunch. And then, we just got to know him and really loved him. He's just Judah's such a nice kid. Thomas is awesome too. But the more we got to know Judah, the more we got to know his life, we kind of understood the situation a little bit more. And unfortunately, a couple months ago, his mom passed away.
Judah's mom.
Judah's mom. Yeah. And they were kind of left with not a whole lot of options of where they were going to go and what they were going to do. And so Kristen and I talked, and it just seemed like a no-brainer to try and set something up for him. So we went and built out part of our garage and some crawl space we had, and turned that into a little unit for him and his sister Layla. And so they moved in with us here a while ago. They've been with us for a couple months now.
Circle.
Way.
Yeah, it's been.
How old are they?
Judah's 20 and Layla's 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mom passed away. Where's dad?
Yeah, dad's in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
So single mom situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're just
lifeline, dude.
They're the best kids. They're so much fun. It's been like so awesome having them with us. Like our kids adore them.
Yeah.
My son Willem's knocking on their door all the time. You want to play video game, Judah, or whatever? And like, like it's not even like
a
they're
big brother.
They're just part of the family now. Like they absolutely are part of the family. And so it's been really rad having them around. And they're always upstairs for dinner, for breakfast. They just see them all the time. And Layla's such a good kid too. And so it's been nice having her. And
what a full circle
just
moment.
a day out just a day out at DMJ's trying to get some surf in. And
I
fast
can't
forward a year.
No, I can't stop but look at that and just like spin the whole thing around of like, whoa, like what he saved us, and we were able to like help him out as well, and the whole thing coming together. It's just magic. It's really cool. And so we're psyched to have him around. And I don't know how long they'll stay, but hopefully it's a long time.
Yeah.
They are family now. Like there's no two ways around it.
Were they living down in San Diego, or
they were living on Pendleton, actually?
Okay.
Dad was a vet that they got some disabled vet housing down there, I think. And so they were on Pendleton for a little while until that lease kind of ran out. And then it was like, well, are we going to go to Arizona? I don't know where we're going to go. And so I thought we could solve this problem.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, you're inspiration to us all, dude.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Thanks for coming, hanging out. I know, Jeff, learning your story, I had a little bit more of knowledge about it. It's inspirational. So
thank you. I genuinely appreciate you guys having me here, and I love what you guys are doing. It's so cool, like bringing the community together. Like we're talking about the whole community thing, and like what you guys are doing, that hub and spoke of like bringing people in and connecting all the people, and just like hopefully spreading more good vibes and more awareness, and
that's the goal.
More people smiling at each other in the water and just having a good time. And like you guys are starting that here, which is really
that's
really
the goal.
Cool thing. I
appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate it. How else can we help you out? Are you still raising money? Any GoFundMe situation?
That's pretty much done. There is one, but it's just nothing. You
hate to put you on the spot.
No, it's there's no other way to help other than like passing a smile along. Like that's all I'd ask is, everyone go out there and give a set wave away one day and just see
share the video. Share the video. Maybe that's
share. But just spreading that love and those good vibes is, I just want to see more of that around.
It's contagious, man.
It is. And you watch someone do it on the water, and you watch the whole lineup change from I'm taking that wave, I'm burning someone, to like the whole thing changes. And
most humans are pretty good if you peel it back, right? I mean, they want to be good. They really do.
Yeah. So it's out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Another good one, dude.
They're just getting better and better, aren't they? Truly a wild story. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, guys,
really appreciate it.
Thank you both. It's awesome. Super fun.
Thank you so much.